This program contains adult content.
Is there a God?
Big atheist.
Really?
What, am I an idiot? Come on.
That yes, it would be nice if you could throw your sins and your responsibilities on someone else. Oh, but it's not true.
It looks like far-left lunacy.
I don't believe that it's true that religion is moral or ethical.
You don't need to follow anybody!
It's not human intelligence!
If someone doesn't value logical consistency, what logical argument are you going to give them that will demonstrate that they should?
Hello and welcome to the Godless Rebelution. Today is Friday, January 5th. This is episode 188. I'm Dan Ellis, and I'm still getting over my head cold a little bit, I think.
You don't sound nasally or anything. You don't sound bad.
My voice feels strained.
Is that your theory?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any scientific evidence to back that up?
Well, like a lot of people are saying, you know, man, like, and just this is my personal theory on it, buddy.
Okay.
But, you know, and you may disagree, and that's okay, man.
That's okay.
I mean, you know, to each his own, but.
Just because Steve wrote it don't mean it's true.
We just watched some fucking hippie talking about he doesn't drink spring water. Oh, God. Anyway, the hippie dippy crunchy bullshit bothers me.
We got 3 minutes into a 12-minute video and just and just gave up.
I was like, I just want to fucking punch this guy in the face. What a dick.
Then I guess my things I brought for tonight will really bother you.
And once again, we are missing our dear co-host Matt, who is still handling some other stuff.
He's fighting ISIS.
Yes.
Trump
Shh,
called
you're not
him up.
supposed to tell people.
Well, Trump gave
and
him
then
a
I
call.
just confirmed. What a dumbass I am. Jesus Christ.
See, I kept silent.
Grant's not going to be implicated.
Nope.
Yeah,
Damn it.
but how do they know it's my voice?
It was pre-recorded. Fuck. Ryan just walked into the studio.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Yeah,
Nice to
I'm
see
pretty
you.
chipper tonight.
And we are joined in studio again for the third week in a row.
Keeping Matt's seat warm.
Yes.
Trying to.
By Mr. Grant Larimer, the Purple Dragon. Thank you very much for coming on the
You
show
are very
again this
welcome.
evening. What have you guys done over the last week?
New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
That was a good party.
Yeah.
Got to set a fire in your kitchen. That's fun.
I feel bad that your ladle broke.
I know. So do I. It was supposed to be tempered, and I guess apparently it wasn't. So
That was just, I felt really bad because, like, you're putting on this amazing fire show for us in the
lesson
kitchen.
learned.
And the ladle you were using just got too hot, I guess.
Yeah, apparently.
And died.
A lot of fire. So yeah.
Well, were you able to drink the stuff then, or did glass get all inside of it?
Well, no. I mean, the ladle part just broke off the handle, pretty clean.
Okay.
I mean, there were a couple of chip marks in the things, so there's probably something in there. But I strained it through, and I drank it. A couple of people drank it.
And no bloody
'Cause there
buttholes?
was
I had some.
There was no. I mean, there weren't like major chunks.
Yeah.
I strained it really good after it happened. So.
Yeah,
So-
I did wake up to go to work, and I saw several of Dan's drunk Facebook texts. I'm like, from an hour earlier, I'm like, wow. See, I knew if I would have went to that, I would have been going to work completely inebriated.
I think I was up until like 4:30.
Yeah, and that's when I woke up at 4:50,
Yeah.
and I saw like, duh, they're just going to bed. I knew that would happen.
I'll have better equipment next time.
I got very drunk.
Yeah. A lot of people did.
I got so drunk. I felt a little bad for our house cleaning lady. We have a woman come and clean the house every couple of weeks. And you know, when you have a party with a fair number of drunken people, your floors get really gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the kitchen floor was
sticky?
pretty sticky.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know it now. She does a great job.
Yeah.
Way to go, Stephanie.
2 thumbs
You're
up,
fucking awesome.
Stephanie. And I saw Star Wars. Finally saw Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
So
and
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot too.
I've been avoiding all the controversy. I knew there was controversy and criticism, I've been avoiding it till I saw it, and now I read the controversy, and I'm not buying into the arguments and the complaints about it, and the dedication to canon and all that stuff. And the progressive. There's a big complaint about how progressive it is. All the heroes are women and minorities.
How dare they let women be heroes?
All the
It is
heroes
the
are women
future.
and minorities, and all the bad guys are white guys with psychological issues.
We need black guys to be the bad guys.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that the truth? Like now?
What?
Yeah.
It depends on what part of the country you're in. I mean,
True.
I really liked it. I really liked
I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
I mean, I'm not going there to see something that is exactly what I expect, right? If it was exactly what I expected, why the fuck would I waste my time with it?
Yeah.
That's why I didn't see Titanic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the fucker sinks.
Is he like, I know the boat's going to sink. Why the fuck?
Why would I waste my time?
It's like these
It's not
people
like there could ever be any kind of
I know
story
how this
leading up
ends.
to the sinking of the boat.
It's like Passion of the Christ. I'm like, it's one of the best-selling books. Why the fuck would I go see the movie? Everyone's talks about it every Sunday.
I know how it ends.
Fuck, I get people coming to my door telling me how the fucker ends.
Oh, that's funny. And so you just worked?
I was at
All
work.
week?
Yeah, for New Year's and all that kind of stuff. Doing a little dog sitting.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll go see Star Wars tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that's my plan.
I dig it. I think you'll like it. I mean, if you're into the other Star Wars movies,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll just
Except for like
think
1
this
and
is fun.
2.
Yeah. 1 and yeah. I mean, they were still entertaining.
They were entertaining. I'm not as critical of the second trilogy as everyone else.
Yeah.
I thought they were fun. I mean, yeah, Jar Jar was corny, but I don't know. I mean, they've had other corny characters.
Jar Jar was corny, and the guy that they had play Anakin,
Well,
I think, was not the world's greatest actor. But
no, and the whole storyline with his teenage angst about love. He'd go into this.
Why would you love me?
Yeah. And then oh shit! Now his name
Beelzebub.
Fucking hell! What is wrong with my memory?
You're getting old.
Anakin,
yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, he won't let me be an adult. He won't let me grow up.
He's treating me like a kid, so I'm going to act like a kid. Ugh.
Yeah, that was
God,
a little.
jeez.
That was a little weird. But,
Yeah.
but
They were still
overall,
entertaining.
they were fun.
Yeah.
They were fun.
I think they were just fine. Like I said, if it was exactly what I was expecting, then I wouldn't waste my time with it. I wanted to see what they were doing, and I like what they were doing. I know Mark Hamill had some issues with the way they cast his character, Luke Skywalker, and a lot of people are complaining about that. And I get why they're complaining, but you can't. Well, I don't want to give any spoilers.
Yeah,
away,
I don't want to give any spoilers. And maybe that's a difference with me, is that I didn't go in expecting anything. I don't read a lot of the literature. I don't participate.
I don't read a lot.
Well, I don't participate in the broader Star Wars discussion.
Not like the people that overanalyze every single trailer that came out for it, going, "Oh, this is going to happen, and then this and this. Oh, that means this."
Well, it's like the people treat it like a religion, and
Yeah.
if you're if you stray from that, then you're
it is a religion.
You can
causing
be
a
ordained.
schism.
Yeah. In the Force.
But yeah, I don't tend to go into those expecting anything with any huge expectations. So yeah, it doesn't. A lot of it didn't shock me.
Well, and it's like, I don't know, of all the things in the world to complain about, complaining about a movie in a franchise that you've grown up with or have watched all of the other ones for, complaining about a fucking movie and spending hours and hours arguing with people about it is like, you need to find another hobby.
Yeah.
You need to find another hobby, and you need to be more concerned about all of the other more important shit in the world. Like, what is any of that going to matter in even 6 months? What is your complaining about this movie going to matter in 6 months? Not a goddamn thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a movie. It's entertainment. It's just supposed to be fun. I mean, it's not supposed to be gospel.
Yeah.
It's supposed to take you out of your world for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I liked it.
I did too. And I had a good time at the New Year's Eve party. Maybe a little bit too much of a good time. I tried to down all the rest of the champagne that was left.
In the glasses or in the bottles?
Because I filled it like a ton of champagne flutes.
You had done like 6 or 7 of them by the time I left, if not more.
Yeah, I wanted to go for at least 13. I don't know why. Baker's dozen, but I got 12 in, and then I went to take something out to the garbage, and I stumbled out of the kitchen into the garage, and then out of the garage over to the garbage cans, and
the next morning I woke up.
Well, no, so I opened the garbage can. And I went to throw the bag that I was holding into the can and just got like really nauseous and hot.
Wow.
Like really hot and started sweating. And so I just stood out there, like I grabbed the top of the fence next to the garbage cans and just kind of stood out there for a little while going, Herp. I'm not going to puke. Maybe I should puke. No, I'm not going to puke. But if you puke, you'll feel better.
Yeah. It is amazing how puking kind of, there's a sense of relief.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get it done.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's when it doesn't stop.
Yeah. Well, I was having that internal dialogue with myself, like, maybe I should just puke and then I'll feel better. And then, no, you don't want to puke. That's fucking gross. And you don't want to do it here because then you're going to have to fucking clean it up.
Or it's going to freeze.
I could puke into and these are all the thoughts.
Right by the trash
I could
can?
just puke into the garbage can.
Yeah. Garbage can.
Yeah. Well, then that's going to stink really bad. And then we'll have to clean that out at some time. And so I just stood out there gripping the fence and letting the waves of nausea wash over me until they kind of subsided. And I came back in the house and then cleaned up some more.
Maybe your body was just saying 12 was a little too many.
12 was at least enough. I wouldn't necessarily say that it was too many because I didn't puke and I didn't black out or pass out, like fall down anywhere, but
it also wasn't just 12 flutes of champagne.
Oh no, yeah.
You had other things.
Yeah.
many
other things. Yeah, I don't know how many shots of shit, like shots of Fireball and
Jello shots.
How many beers? Oh, that's
all the Jello shots.
The Jello shots that I had.
All that sugar and alcohol in your gut fermenting and that's some good vomit.
But I felt surprisingly okay the next day.
Huh?
I woke up at I didn't get to sleep until like 4:30 or so. And then I woke up at 8 because I had to use the bathroom. So I got up, used the bathroom, and thought, I can feel a hangover coming on. So I took like 4 ibuprofen and drank as much water as I possibly could and then went back to bed.
Yeah.
And then rolled out of bed at like 1. Rolled out of bed at like 1 and I'm like, I feel pretty good. And then I was fine for pretty much the rest of the day, except for when I would bend over and your brain does that, like you're sloshing.
Yeah. It feels like it's actually
your head.
slamming against the front. Yeah.
Anytime I had to bend over for anything, then I was like, nope, maybe I should go sit down.
That's a TBI waiting to happen.
Yeah, it really was. Like, I've gone golfing several times after tying one on the night before, and Jesus Christ, bending over to pick up your ball or to mark it, or to put it on a tee or do anything. There have been plenty of rounds of golf I've played where I'm like
altitude change as you're going back up.
I shouldn't be out here today right now. I should be at home sleeping.
Lift with my back.
Could somebody put my ball on the tee for me? I'll just swing. That'd be great.
Wash my balls.
But no, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Justin Schieber, formerly of the Reasonable Doubts podcast and currently of Real Atheology, and you are listening to the Godless Rebelution.
Alex Jones, unfortunately, has the IQ of a 10-year-old.
Well, how can he drive an RV?
Rejoining the Godless Rebelution podcast now.
So tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about things that you should not believe because they're garbage and caca.
Yeah.
I think this should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I was gonna go on a way extreme. I picked one normal one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go really extreme. I'm gonna find something way out there like the flat earther shit, but even more extreme. Then I had to pull it back because I was going down a YouTube fucking rabbit hole of crazy.
Started getting into dangerous territory.
Of Nibiru, Planet X, 4,000-year cycles. It's going to come back and kill us, and they're the ones that dropped off the humans in the first place. And
Jesus.
Yeah. Crazy bullshit.
Maybe we should have one on conspiracy theory. An episode on conspiracy theories one day.
We should, because there are so many good ones out there.
Yeah.
They're fucking weird. Just
on far out ridiculous conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
But tonight,
sounds good.
Well, first we got raw water.
Uncooked water?
Uncooked water?
Yep. While some areas of the world are desperately need clean water, others in Silicon Valley are starting a new trend of skipping clean water and going straight for the shit.
They're drinking poop?
Essentially, there's got to be poop in it.
Yeah.
So, raw water, by their definition, is raw water is natural water found in the environment and has not been treated, nor have any minerals, ions, particles, or living organisms been removed. Raw water includes rainwater, groundwater, water from infiltration wells, and water from bodies of like lakes and rivers.
So the E. coli
Yeah.
has not been removed. It's still
it's still in there.
Still in there. Okay.
And this is like new. Like I didn't hear about this until like 2 weeks ago. I saw something pop up about
it's within the last couple of weeks that I've seen anything about it.
And now there's rich people in Silicon Valley like betting money on it. Like clean out your 401k. This is going to be huge. Like this is going to sell huge. Like Trump says.
Well, I saw it just today for the first time on NBC, on an article on NBC. And the article was about just how fucking stupid this is.
Yeah. Well, it's fucking stupid because they're getting 2.5 gallons of this water costs you $60, and they can't keep it on the shelves.
Oh, jeez. Because there's a bunch of gullible dumb fucks going, I gotta buy that raw water. I've existed for how many years without it, but now I have to have it.
I should be so much richer than I am because I know how to sucker. I know how to sucker conservatives. I know how to sucker people who buy shit like this. I don't know why I'm not richer than I am.
Those goddamn ethics.
But yeah, that's you're a good guy.
Well, thank you. I'm just not as rich as I could be a rich good guy.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I think the reason why they're getting away with it and why they're not selling it in grocery stores or any of those kind of places right now. It's like the hippie farmers market style
Hippity
thing.
dippity?
Well, it's like a co-op, like a hippie, like a community co-op type grocery store they have.
Uh-huh.
That's where they're selling it right now in Silicon Valley. That they're selling for $60 for 2.5 gallons.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's like a lot more than gas.
Yeah. Well, water, I mean, has cost more than gas for a long time.
Yeah.
Gallon
on a per gallon, yeah.
For decades now.
Yeah.
I mean, Robin Williams used to joke about that decades ago.
Yeah. But one of the articles I got talking about specifically going on in Silicon Valley said that unfiltered, untreated water, even from the cleanest streams, can contain animal feces, spreading Giardia, which has symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, and results in roughly 4,600 hospitalizations a year. Hepatitis A, which resulted in 20 deaths in California outbreak in 2017, can be spread through water even if it is treated. E. coli, cholera can also be transmitted via untreated water.
So all of these things that we've worked so hard to not get people sick by, everybody's rushing to pay for the potential disaster waiting them in a bottle.
$60 fucking for 2.5 gallons.
I want to pay $60 so I can shit my brains out.
And then if you're really, I mean, what if you got a big family?
They can all shit their brains out.
Yeah, but you got to buy a lot of water
and toilet paper.
Are they showering with this?
This is natural selection. I mean, come on. I mean, they're just weeding themselves out of the gene pool. Well, I know that's not how natural selection works, but that's what this is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to kill themselves off and weed themselves out of the gene pool.
Well, I also wonder if they don't shower because it's the chemicals in the water they're worried about. The fluorides and the chlorine and how it's been treated and all that kind of stuff.
Maybe they shower, maybe they bathe in the spring they're getting their drinking water from.
So they're recycling their own poop.
And their own body
their own
germs and
skin,
washing their own
skin.
ass crack in the water they're going to drink.
If it was good before, it's good now.
Well, that's how people used to do it before, right? I mean, that's how we evolved.
Yeah,
but they also learned to boil their water.
Well, yeah.
To kill all the microbes.
To kill all the microbes and the bacteria, and that's also why a lot of those old cultures drank beer. Because of the fermentation process of beer, would you kill off all the bad bacteria? There's only like a 1%.
I'm sure
alcohol
that's the
content
only
in it.
reason they drank beer.
Well, it was a big reason. They actually said was it the Mayflower? One of them had to stop short on the trip down the coast because they had to set up a distillery to make beer because they're all out on the ship. It's one of the stories.
I hadn't heard that.
Because the water you can't transport. Once it's been safe, you can't drink the ocean water, so they transport beer for the long voyages with them.
Yeah.
For their drinking water. But it's like I said, like it would have like a 1% alcohol in it, so it's not going to get you drunk. It's just a beer that's your water.
It's near beer.
Very near.
So what kinds of, do you have any idea who started the raw water trend?
There was the only company name I could find behind it was the one that's tied to this video, the Live Water. And there's another one called Fountain of Life.
Yeah.
I could not find anything on them, but there's like a GoFundMe. That's where the rich millionaire guy's like, get into this.
There's a website for Live Water.
They have a website.
Search for Live Water, you'll find their website.
But even in the grocery store with the Fountain of Life water, that was the one that was $60. And you can see it says Fountain of Life on it, and it says Live Water on it as well, which was maybe thinking it was two companies. Was it one? I'm not 100% sure. But
so it's just something that people.
I love these pictures. It just looks so refreshing.
Yeah, that's that $60 crystal jug.
Not plastic.
No,
plastic
it's crystal.
Is bad.
Yes,
but crystal's just fine.
Yes.
Though it can be irradiated and
in this guy's place is in Oregon.
Contain impurities that are water soluble.
Oh, and right up there, you just skim past it. Recently, Live Water has received a lot of media, and this little chunk of text is addressing like the bad press they're getting.
Right
so
now,
I'm guessing this is pretty new.
So recently, Live Water has received a lot of media controversy. Right now, millions of chemicals are spilling into rivers and oceans. The rivers
and oceans that they're getting their water from.
Well, they talk about it.
Synthetic toxins are rushing down from car washes, industrial waste from factories, and herbicides sprayed on edges of freeways. Synthetic fertilizers from lawns, golf courses, and produce are purchased by the pallet every day. We can understand why it's challenging to believe that a source of water with no industrial age contamination exists. Industrial age contamination. So that's why we have municipal water systems to filter out shit like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he doesn't care about the ancient fertilization poop.
Yeah.
It's been around for ages and it carries a lot of diseases.
Opal Spring, where we source our water from, is from an ancient aquifer that we have extensively tested and has shown no harmful contamination whatsoever. That is 3 words. Water is collected from the covered spring head, so there is no chance for surface bacteria to enter the water. Our bottling facility is a sterile environment in which we triple rinse and what are they rinsing them? What are they rinsing these bottles with?
Chlorine.
With the spring water?
I don't know.
I mean, honestly,
what are they washing it with?
Yeah, if
what kind of soap?
If they're worried about these fucking contaminants, then what the fuck are they rinsing their bottles with? What the? God, that's just so fucking, that's obviously stupid. Let's see.
What industrial age soap are they using to wash it with?
Yeah.
It's just straight lie.
That's leaching back down into the system.
It doesn't lie. We're using natural mint leaves.
It's probably just tap water. These guys are probably making this whole raw water story up, and it's just fucking tap water.
Well, that's what all these natural spring bottled waters are. I mean, they're all just tap water.
Yeah.
We also test each batch for harmful bacteria, and no one has ever gotten sick from drinking the water we bottle.
So
it's a batch like they make
That's one of the points that the NBC article you were on made, is that we don't even know exactly which bacteria are always good and bad.
Yeah.
We know some bacteria that we know are bad, but there's some bacteria we don't know if they're good or bad. So how can they be testing for?
Yeah, it's an ancient aquifer. There could be ancient dinosaur bacteria in that shit.
And what's good and bad is variable depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Some bacteria is worse for certain people than other bacteria.
The town of Madras, Oregon. I don't know how you say it. I'm sure it's got to be some local pronunciation that it wouldn't matter.
No, it's not.
Someone who lives locally would say you're stupid, like for towns here like Tooele and
Thule, you mean?
And Hurricane.
Yeah.
So the town of Madras, Oregon trusts, with no comma in there either, trusts the water so much that they have been drinking unprocessed Opal Spring water from the tap for over half a century.
Wait. So that is their tap water.
Huh?
Okay.
This whole thing is fucking weird. We choose to transport and store our water in refrigerated facilities to protect the healthy probiotics present in our water.
Why does it have to be refrigerated if it's not refrigerated? I mean, there's no refrigeration in the earth.
To protect the healthy probiotics present in our water.
I'm thinking this is sounding more and more like to be a scam company.
Yeah.
I'm guessing if somebody looked into it.
Well, but they have to say that because here's the next thing. This additional cost ensures an unparalleled freshness and health benefit. So, because they're going through this extra cost, surely they're going to be passing this on to their customers who then won't be so surprised by a sticker price of $60
Well, in that case, when Coors ships their beer cold, why is it so cheap?
We advocate people...
they're making it with tap water.
We advocate people collecting the wrong usage, or the wrong spelling of the word there, own spring water as the best choice. We simply provide a super convenient and efficient system for people whom would prefer... Oh my God, these people are fucking stupid! For people whom, wrong, it would be who would prefer to have it delivered. But, if you use whom, then you sound
more
intelligent to people who don't know any better because they're fucking stupid too. We envision a near future where more pure water exists and people embrace the free gifts nature offers.
I mean, it sounds to me like their town is running on a big well water system.
Yeah.
And that's all they're getting. They're pulling well water out.
And they're piping that water through industrial...
Look at that thing. That looks like a fucking meth lab.
It says, shocking but true, all other filtered and even bottled spring waters are sterilized with UV light, ozone gas, and a sub-micron filter. This is similar to how most juice and dairy products are pasteurized for shelf stability. It's not just for shelf stability that we pasteurize things like milk and juices.
For diseases.
It's so that people don't get fucking sick and die.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this sterilization destroys beneficial sources of minerals and probiotics.
Go chew on a rock.
Just go eat some fucking dirt, right?
Well, and that's true. I mean, there is a certain truth to that it kills off beneficial things, but you can get those beneficial things from other sources too.
Right.
Yeah, beer.
Save water, drink beer.
It continues. It says microbes outnumber human cells in the body tenfold. It's much more than tenfold. There are more nerve endings in our bellies than in our brains. And there's a constant battle between good and bad bacteria. I picture this like tiny little bacteria on a tiny little horse with a tiny little sword going, I'm
Charge!
gonna get you.
That'd make a great video too. Kind of like a Inside Out. Is that the movie?
Oh yeah.
With like two armies of bacteria in a civil war in your gut.
The microbiome, 2 words, but it should not be, of our gut produces about 95% of the serotonin and 50% of the dopamine in our brains. The microbiome of our gut produces those in our brains?
I thought those were made
accurate either.
I
thought serotonin was produced in the brain
Yeah. Anxiety, weight gain, fatigue, and countless other ailments are linked to an imbalance of proper gut bacteria.
Or just too much beer.
living spring water is the key to unlocking a perfect microbiome balance. How do they know? How do they know what the perfect balance is going to be when every person has a different microbiome? Yeah. So how can they say that it's going to strike a perfect balance when they don't know what it's going into? So you can't fucking balance something by adding just some other shit into it, right?
Well, and I'm starting to think their whole thing's bullshit.
Well, you're starting
no. As far as like,
is that you're coming around to that?
Well, not the raw that it's bullshit that their raw water thing is actually what they're saying it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think what they're selling is a bullshit idea that it's this fresh from the earth water. It's like, no, you're getting it from your fucking tap water, dude.
And the thing that kills me about it is that this site repeatedly tries to use science to say that science is bad and wrong, right?
Yeah, the same science that said, hey, this water's not good to drink, the same science they're using to say our water's now good to drink.
I mean, this graphic that they have here says live water, lab-verified probiotics, Pseudomonas putida, and oleovorans and fluorescens and...
Wait, are the fluorescens the one that glow in the ocean? The fluorescent life?
The probiotics listed here are exclusive to our unsterilized water.
Exclusive to no other water in the world.
Has this kind of shit in it.
Has these probiotics.
So since your body's never had this before, it's going to love it.
And nobody's even going to search. I mean, no one's going to look up those names.
Oh my
God!
God!
And see what the hell. Look at the last sentence on that paragraph.
On the graphic here.
No,
or
on the
here?
right.
Well, I was stuck up at the beginning here because it says the probiotics are exclusive to our unsterilized water. There could be countless other beneficial microbes present. Scientists just haven't discovered yet. And that
like
then they're also not testing for, right?
Yeah. So
there could also be a shit ton of bad,
really terrible
like
shit
the one that's going to kill all of human civilization or turn people into zombies.
What the hell is a probiotic anyway? I've heard the term. I don't know what
it's not an antibiotic.
Is that
a good?
I would guess that's
probiotic.
Yeah.
An antibiotic gets rid of the bad bacteria in your body.
But antibiotic is good.
Well,
antibiotic is for killing.
Yeah, the
probiotics.
No, not probiotics. For kill. Well, I think it kills everything.
Well, I mean,
I'll bet these guys probably don't take antibiotics.
If an antibiotic is good, then
an antibiotic is only good if you're sick.
Doesn't the antibiotic kill the pro? Or I'm confused.
Well, I have heard of people having to get poop transplants so they can get the biotics back into their system.
It's true.
I've heard about poop. What is it? Enemas, or not an enema.
Oh no,
they take poop from someone else and transplant it into your body.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, that's like a 2 girls 1 cup inception kind of thing going on.
They are imperative for optimal physical and mental health. Without these probiotics, we're not able to fully assimilate all the nutrients in our food. Some beneficial bacteria are also proven to have abilities to transform harmful bacteria. Here's a published medical report supporting evidence that raw spring water has vast healing abilities.
It came from a 2nd grade science fair.
I'll bet that the actual study they cite has nothing to do with raw water.
Biomedical reports, NCBI, is that a credible source?
What's .gov? I mean,
is it? Okay,
it's
it is
.gov site.
What's NCBI? National Center.
Biomedical.
National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health. I don't know that. So the abstract, I don't even want to.
I'd have to read.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of words in there that we have to look up.
I'm guessing it's like bullshit.
Well, this talks about a particular spring, not about raw water.
See, what I bet this is that I bet that
in Italy.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's not talking about
even their water.
No, yeah, it's not their spring, and it's not about raw water in general.
No.
It is a particular spring. In a particular location. It's a single spring that this paper is written about, and these people are using it to say that their water
is the same.
Yeah.
Well, I was willing to bet that it was going to be a study that came from that city that said, hey, guess what? We did a test on the aquifer here for well water, and it's safe to drink.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was going to be about.
But. Oh, yeah, no. That may have helped their case a little bit. But so they've got then all of these ridiculous crystal
And
chalices
I think
and
in the one I saw
jugs.
in Silicon Valley, you can get your 2.5 gallon crystal jug refilled.
They got nice jugs.
They do.
Nice big jugs.
They are pretty.
fancy. I mean, that would make a good lemonade jug or whiskey jug.
But I mean, are they crystal or are they just glass?
It's probably just glass. It said crystal in the thing
To make it sound like, yeah.
more
marketing.
lavish
The
and
whole thing is
expensive.
marketing
to make it sound fancy.
But the thing is in the guy's video, he is sucking on rocks. He's putting it in stagnant water. In the video, he's making people think like, oh, we're just going out into nature and we're finding you the freshest water. Like we're hunting fresh water in nature. When what he's honestly doing is going to his tap and getting it out. Like, oh, we got a natural aquifer here. I'm going to fucking...
Hi, this is Yvette Donstrema, aka the SciBabe, and you're listening to Godless Rebelution. You can find me at SciBabe.com, at my Twitter account at the SciBabe, and if you've hunt really hard, you can find me at Pornhub. I dare you.
Trump's sexual obsessions may destroy the earth. We should be running down this horrible little dictator, but the point is that the president has small genitals, and if you think we have a horrible demonic creature, you better think again.
You and the Godless Rebelution will be reassimilated in 3, 2, 1.
Should we watch his video? You want to watch his video?
Must we?
Oh, very inspirational music.
So there's like 30 seconds of just visual.
Oh, and he wears fucking toe shoes.
toe shoes.
So you know he's one with the world.
I like my toe shoes.
One with the earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another aspect of this company is that not only will they sell you their water, but they will supposedly help you find your own natural
hear
spring water.
So much about local food, but what about local water?
Yeah, people in Michigan know all about that.
Yeah, the way it's meant to be. And it's the kind of water that we're biologically adapted to as an animal.
We're biologically adapted to drinking raw water. That's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
People get sick. That's the whole fucking point of
if we were
pasteurization and filtering and boiling and adding other chemicals.
That's why lifespans are longer now than they were before.
And people in third world countries wouldn't be crying out for clean fucking water because they're dying all the time and getting sick.
No shit.
Yeah, where all they have access to is raw water.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of scientists who say that clean water in Western countries is the number one technological advancement of the 20th century.
Yeah.
That more than any other advancement we have, clean water is what sets is the number one thing.
And that was one of the things, I was reading about it was saying that the U.S. has the largest volume of clean water in the whole fucking world.
Yeah.
Dude, it still trips me out. Maybe it's just because I'm a little weird, but it trips me out that I have in my house specific locations where I can go and there's water coming into and then back out of my house for anything that is wasted or is run off or whatever. Like, I have water in my house at my command that I can just instantly use to clean things, to shower, to flush toilets, to drink. Like, and then it goes away.
And
like
then it just magically disappears.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's fucking amazing.
To think about the infrastructure we have compared to other countries I've been to that just don't have this. I mean, it's incredible when you take it for granted so much. But when you think about the infrastructure it takes to make that happen, it's amazing.
Dude, can you imagine living even just in the 18th or early 19th
I was going to say
century?
1920s even.
Yeah, where you still, and it still happens in more rural parts of the United States even, where you don't have running water, you don't have electricity. You have to, if you need to use the bathroom, then you've got a chamber pot maybe in the house, or you've got to go outside to an outhouse and you bathe using raw water and, whatever cleaning materials you can put together yourself.
Heat it up and put it in a tub.
Yeah.
I lived like that for 6 months in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
During Desert Storm. And we're in the middle of nowhere. We had no water. We had water, but
not running
water. I mean,
so you dig your own shitters and
Well, we used we cut off a 55-gallon drum and built a latrine around it, and then we'd have to go pour some diesel in it and burn it.
Set it on fire.
Set it on fire.
Huh?
I didn't like that job.
We had porta potties and piss tubes.
Yeah, they sent us. They literally sent us out into the desert with a toilet seat. That's all we had. We had to scrounge in the Saudi desert for the wood and everything to build everything we had.
Yeah.
So Saudi Arabia, it's just a big garbage dump, really. Aside from a few
big garbage dump full of garbage people.
A few,
they don't have trash day.
A few golden cities, a few beautiful cities.
Yeah.
But out in the desert, no, people just dump garbage everywhere. So we just scrounge wood. We built a porch for our tent. We built a volleyball court and a weight training area where we stuck our reels of communication satellite cable on for a bench press. Yeah.
Wow. It just amazes me that that is just something that
we take for granted.
And it's so cheap.
Yeah.
Like, I can use a ton of water and spend maybe $100 a month on it for like all the water that I could just spray water all over my house. I could just turn water on and watch it run down the drain if I wanted to.
But Dan, that's socialism, man. You're describing socialism, and that's evil.
That's terrible.
Exactly. Where I live, I think it's 1,500 gallons of water is part of your basic bill. Then after that, you pay per gallon.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and each municipality is different.
Yeah.
Like here in Murray, we have it's a aquifer here, well water that the city owns, and so it's much less expensive for residents in the area and everything. But it fucking amazes me that is available to us. And then you got dipshits like this out roaming the forest to find contaminated water that he can potentially get really sick on.
He's roaming the forest in the video, but I'm pretty convinced now he's just going into his garage and tapping the water.
Well, let's watch the rest of this.
I gotta pee.
It all looks so refreshing.
Oh, yeah.
The water from springs is the cleanest water in the world. It's been filtered by the earth itself, so water...
It's not the cleanest water in the world either. Like, what? How the fuck are you qualifying that? What were you going to say?
Well, I'm just saying, back to your point earlier about using a spark of scientific truth.
Yeah.
And then expanding on it to prove some bullshit point.
Yeah.
He's starting out, water filters through
into
earth,
aquifers.
Into aquifers. And that filtering process takes out a lot of stuff, but it doesn't necessarily take out all this stuff. And it very well could put in bad stuff. I mean,
well, there's arsenic that's down under the ground.
Yeah. It could have leached all kinds of fucking toxins into the water. You know how you know if the water's safe to drink is you run scientific tests on it to make sure that there are no contaminants in it.
I thought we'd give it to someone who likes raw water and see if they live.
But Dan, their website said they did do that.
Oh my God.
So water percolates down through the earth and is filtered by all that earth substrate, and it accumulates in deep aquifers. And when those aquifers are full, that water is brought up to the surface at springs.
As if by magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just magically comes back up.
There's springs under the dirt that just bounce the water up to us.
No, they're spring fairies.
It's more than just H2O molecules. Water, as it's found in nature, is a liquid crystal.
See, and here
he's putting it into a fucking stagnant pond.
He's not taking it out of a spring. He's like just dipping a jug into a stagnant pool of water.
Dude, there's rotting vegetation all over the fucking bank here, and leaves and shit in the water.
And he's when you see this video, he's selling it as if he's just collecting water from nature.
Yeah. It's great.
Well, he is.
Well, yeah, that's what he's doing in the video, but according to their own website, that's not what they've
coming from the city aquifer.
It's a pretty marketing thing.
Yeah.
Is a liquid crystalline matrix of H2O molecules that suspends a variety of beneficial...
Liquid crystalline matrix. How the fuck does that work?
I don't know. I don't want to drink any crystals. Those will get stuck in the hurt on the way coming out.
Since when is H2O a crystal? Or a liquid crystal.
Well, I think he's talking about the structure of the actual atomic
Well, if you
structure
take a snowflake, then you melt it.
Fuck.
You start with a crystalline structure.
If you
and
take
then you
a
melt
snowflake and you melt it, you become Kellyanne Conway.
You are a fucking genius.
Microbes and microalgae, as well as a variety of dissolved solids like mineral ions. And we need all of that. That's what we're adapted to. We're not any more adapted to refined H2O than we are to refined carbohydrate.
That is just fucking nonsense. That's fucking bullshit, ridiculous, goddamn nonsense.
Pseudoscience.
That we're not adapted to water that has bad shit stripped out of it?
Well, you see, we used to be friends with the viruses. We were one with the viruses.
He's saying we're adapted to water with good shit in it. With minerals and probiotics, whatever the fuck they are, and all that stuff. That's what we're adapted to. Because we can't get those minerals through any other
way.
source.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and we can't get Giardia any other way either.
Refined carbohydrates like processed white sugar. One of the issues today with the water that contemporary modern people are drinking is that
contemporary modern people are drinking.
I mean, he was almost snide about that. You know, I mean, he was almost contemporary modern people. You know,
back in feudalist times, the water was so much better.
I think every civilization has fought for clean water in some way or another. Because they know you get sick if you drink bad water.
People are drinking is that in the form of tap water, it's, I would say, contaminated with antibiotic substances like chlorine or contaminated with halides like fluoride.
It's contaminated with antibiotic things like chlorine. So he's saying that antibiotics are bad as well? Like,
yes.
Well, it's not a probiotic.
It's not a probiotic. It's an antibiotic.
Whatever the fuck
right.
a probiotic is.
Right.
So it harms the probiotics in your gut.
Fluoride, which we know is neurotoxic. And when we talk about bottled waters, one of the main issues that we have there is
okay, it's like every few words that he says. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself as I'm listening to this dumb fucker talk, like, how does he wash his clothes? How does he wash himself? How does he wash his dishes?
I had the same thought, because those chemicals are all being introduced through your tap water into your clothes, onto your skin, onto your eating utensils, everything.
Yeah, and we know that the human body
How do you get those tattoos?
Yeah! Injecting fucking toxins.
Injecting toxins under your skin.
No,
he did it the old charcoal way.
Well,
I just can't with people like this. Like, you're just so fucking ignorant that you don't realize even how fucking stupid you sound when you talk about shit like this. Like, people who are so afraid of, GMOs, well, it's chemicals and you're putting them into your body and this is terrible. Okay. Have you stopped for a second to think about where your fucking toothpaste comes from? Or where your shampoo comes from? Or your deodorant? Any of the other shit that is on your body all fucking day? Have you given even a second's thought to that? Or have you just watched a slick advertising campaign from somebody like this fucking bearded, tatted dickhead? Or from anti-GMO, pro-organic organization who tells you that you need to eat healthy and clean and raw and
one of the million moms.
Oh my God, these people are it's like they don't stop to think for themselves for a second. They don't question anything that they're told. It's just, oh my God, that commercial looks really good. And they're making some points that if I don't really fucking think about it, sound pretty plausible.
Well, the reason why he's doing it is because he wants to make millions.
Yeah. Well, clearly, yeah. He's obviously making a shit ton of money off of this.
Contamination of plastics. We're in this age now where we know we've reached a kind of water crisis, but for most...
Okay, that fucking image there. So... He throws out this term, we're in a water crisis.
We can only play this for like 3 or 4 seconds at a time.
No, I'm sorry.
That's why I thought we should have played it first.
He throws out that we're in a water crisis, and then he shows a picture of California's water shortage and the
drought.
That has nothing to do with clean drinking water.
Right.
I mean, if they had a shit ton of aquifers under California, they wouldn't be in a drought.
Well, and yeah, I mean, it has something to do with clean water because they're telling people, you know, don't water your lawns and shit like that because we have a finite or limited amount of water.
Okay. I mean, that's...
But it's not saying. I mean, he's trying to portray it as California's water problem is that the water is bad, and that's not the fucking issue at all. It's that they don't have enough of water.
Yeah. So go out in nature and find it.
Reached a kind of water crisis. But for most people, that's like an abstraction because they don't actually have connection to the water they drink or where it comes from. So
I know exactly where my water comes from.
And this is where spirituality comes into it.
Yeah.
You don't have a connection with Mother Earth.
Uh-huh.
With the
Gaia is so upset with you.
And the fluid of life.
She just really wishes that you'd pay more attention.
Yeah. As she oozes her fluid of life out of every crevice and pore.
Well,
jizzing on you like a terrestrial money shot.
Well, she put that oil in the water, then she wanted it there.
Well, and he's showing, so throughout this, it's showing clips of like oil pipelines breaking and oil drilling rigs, you know, spilling oil out into the water and everything. It's like, that's why we have municipal water systems, is to filter that shit out.
Yeah. That oil came from underground, the same place the water is. His fucking water is coming from.
Yeah, and he's meanwhile dipping jugs into fucking standing water and trying to say that we need to do more of that. While playing clips later showing shit spilling into the water that he's dipping his fucking jug out in.
Yeah. I mean, when old Jet Clampett went out and shot into the water, oil came out of it, mixing with the fucking water.
So if we really want to talk about protecting our water, it's important that we actually gather our own water, at least have a relationship to the water where we are.
Have a relationship with your water. Just curl up in bed with it.
Rub on it.
You got to teabag your water.
Water where we are from. The water
where we are from.
Yeah, my water comes from about 5 miles down the road from a reservoir.
Well, you can only drink water from Wisconsin, apparently.
What?
And you could only drink water from what? Fucking France or where?
Well, I was born in Idaho. So.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you're fucked. That's some racist water there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be there all next week.
I left when I was 4 days old. I've literally never been back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well.
From your spring could have been underground for a year or could have been underground for 10,000 years. Often the water that we get at springs has been in the ground longer than humans have been polluting the surface of the earth, which...
Oh my God.
Now, I thought he said that water naturally just pushes up. Like water goes down, water comes up. Water goes down, water comes up.
We don't know how it works.
You can't explain that.
But if it takes 10,000 years, once he taps that shit, you got to wait another 10,000 years for that fucker to fill up.
Well, so the numbers that he was dropping there make me think, okay, is this guy some fucking godbotherer who thinks, is he a young earth creationist? Like, because he just said the water at your local spring could be, you know, could have been there for a year or could have been there for 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could have been there for, you know, longer than human beings have been contaminating.
Which I think he means since we, like, industrial age. We need to get back to our 1800 ways.
Yeah, because, you know, people who live in places in Africa where there are no running water or anything, where there's no clean, reliable source of running water, their land isn't polluted at all, right? No. All of the raw water that they have to collect and use
is pretty good.
And the waste that they produce doesn't fucking pollute the land at all. It's all just through industrial means that water becomes polluted.
Which means that water is pristine. And the water you drink becomes your body, becomes your blood. And there's a real satisfaction.
No, it doesn't. That's not how biology works. Water does not turn into blood any more than water turns into wine. That's not how it works.
Oh, my God.
Being dehydrated does affect your blood flow.
Sure, but it doesn't...
Sure, but it doesn't change... Your body doesn't change water into blood cells.
No. That's true.
But it becomes your blood, Brian. Didn't you learn this in your EMT trainings? Well, like if somebody needs a blood transfusion, instead you can just give them water?
Well, sometimes you do. That's like, what saline is.
Well, sure, yeah, but if they suffer a whole lot of blood loss,
saline
then you don't need
blood loss.
You really don't need a transfusion.
If
all right,
lost 3 liters of blood.
Pressure. you got to keep the pressure up for the heart, or else the heart stops.
Sure.
You lose pressure.
Oh, okay.
So you put the water in to maintain pressure.
Okay. So, but you're right. Okay. But eventually you're going to need blood.
It'll be dissolved into the body, and your body will create new red blood cells.
New red blood cells.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the way he's making it sound is that
like it's a direct in.
Yeah, like the Jehovah's Witnesses have it right. Like, you don't need a blood transfusion. You can just be injected with water, and it'll turn into blood.
I'd say maybe there's part of it probably does, because your body, all the moisture, all the protein, everything you ingest, all go back into creating blood and new cells. And
well, sure, but that's not. But
that's not the way he's portraying it.
In knowing that water in your body is wild water.
And then he bends down and he's sucking on. He's
eating that rock out. He's going to town on that rock vagina.
Look, dude, there's pine needles, there's dead leaves, there's fucking
moss,
dirt,
fungus.
and moss.
There's probably fungus growing on the rock.
And he's bending down and just drinking water off of this fucking thing.
Well, actually, we don't.
It looks like he's eating out the rock.
It does. That's what I said. That's why I said that he's eating. He's fucking going down.
He's going down on Mother Earth.
He's munching Mother Earth, and that's basically the end of the thing. I just can't with
It's the anti-vaxxer. Don't trust chemicals. Don't trust big corporation. Bullshit. And the guy's going to try to make millions off of this shit.
Oh, I'm sure he will, too.
Town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee he's going to make millions off of this.
He'll make a fuck ton off of it.
Yeah. There are plenty of people who'd spend.
I think he's going to buy a big mansion with tap water.
Hi, this is Megan Kennedy. I'm a speaker with the Satanic Temple. You can find me on Twitter at 6 Moments, and you're listening to the Godless Rebelution.
So to be clear, Mr. Trump has no financial relationships with any Russian oligarchs.
That's what he said. That's what I said. That's obviously what our position is.
Well, there is nothing inherently suspicious about that response at all, except for the sweatiness, the stumbling, and the fact you couldn't even hold eye contact with the camera.
Thanks for listening. Now back to the show.
Grant, you brought some things, I understand, around technology, things that you should not believe, or also better known as a Jeopardy category of things Jill Stein believes for $500.
Or $1,000. If Jeopardy were still on, apparently it's on a hiatus now.
Oh.
Trebek brain surgery or something.
Oh wow.
Oh.
He's sick.
That's not what your mother said, Trebek.
Why is Trebek in the hospital?
All the raw water.
So the first one I brought is a perpetual myth that's been going on for a while about Wi-Fi causing cancer.
Mm.
And it's been
this is things Jill Stein believes.
Yeah.
This is the Jill Stein episode. So, I mean, most people are, we all know what Wi-Fi is, and it's growing and growing, and the more it grows, the more paranoid people are getting about it. It's supplanting Ethernet now.
It's radiating waves that pass through everything, Grant. It's going to fuck up your jimmies.
But that's a problem. So a lot of the articles that are written about Wi-Fi, whether it's just about Wi-Fi in general or about Wi-Fi causing health problems or whatever.
It's not natural, Grant.
Is that the articles refer to it as radiation, which technically is true. Wi-Fi signals are radiation. The light from a light bulb is radiation. I mean, it's radiated energy. What the articles kind of leave out and what a lot of people don't understand is a distinction between non-ionizing radiation and ionizing radiation. Non-ionizing radiation, like light, sunlight, light bulbs, radio waves, Wi-Fi.
Some parts of sunlight.
Well, I mean,
especially if you're ginger.
I'm talking the visible light spectrum. When you get into the
UV and
the
ultraviolet,
that becomes ionizing.
The shit that we can't actually see.
The shit we can't see.
Yeah.
That becomes ionizing. But the visible light is. So, and those are not harmful as opposed to ionizing radiation like X-rays, gamma rays, things like that. Another thing they don't talk about is intensity. A lot of people kind of lumped together Wi-Fi signals with microwave ovens because they're in the same frequency on the radio spectrum.
And they're both waves.
But they leave out the reality that microwave ovens work at 600 plus watts.
Yeah.
Whereas a Wi-Fi router works at like 1 watt. So again, you're talking about an energy difference of whether or not it has enough energy to ionize atoms. And that's where it becomes harmful. So, now, yeah, I mean, whether they've done any studies, I mean, if you were to lay out like 1,000 Wi-Fi routers at 1 watt apiece and lay on top of it for a year, I mean, I don't know if they've done any research on that, but your one fucking cell phone at less than a watt of energy or one router, no, it's not dangerous.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called, beyond the whole cancer, because everything fucking causes cancer. Anything people don't understand causes cancer. That's kind of the go-to sickness. But there's this other thing called electromagnetic hypersensitivity.
Yeah.
EHS.
Oh, yeah. That's what Saul...
Better Call Saul?
Yeah, Better Call Saul's brother claimed to have in the show.
Yeah. And there was a show, I forget the show I was watching, but it's about the dark side of technology. And one of them was about these people who supposedly have EHS and they have to go out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, they made there's the group of people that made their own whole like town or city where there's no Wi-Fi's allowed, no cell towers.
Signals. I don't know how they know no Wi-Fi exists without some kind of device to test that there's no signal.
Do they also make sure that there are no radio waves anywhere in the airspace around them?
I guess. I mean, I don't know how that works.
Their own biodome.
So this is from the World Health Organization. Off of the World Health Yes.
You almost fell for it.
Oh, I did. I was like, what do you mean? Who?
This is not Abbott and Costello.
I had to do it.
This is from who?
Who?
No, who?
I'm not going to get fooled again. Anybody? No? Is that too vague a reference? Too old? The Who?
I'm not going to get fooled.
We Won't Be Fooled Again. It's a song by The Who.
Yeah. It was part of that theme song for that TV show.
So this is
Meet
from
the new boss, same as the old boss.
This is from WHO. EHS is characterized by a variety of non-specific symptoms.
Whatever the fuck you want to say.
Whatever you want.
Well, let's get specific here.
Which afflicted individuals attribute to exposure to EMF. The symptoms most commonly experienced include dermatological, redness, tingling, burning, as well as neurosyntactic and vegetative symptoms, such as fatigue, tiredness, concentration. I don't know where.
It sounds like they're just lazy, and then they got bed sores.
Yeah, dizziness, nausea, blah 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 blah. The collection of symptoms is not part of any recognized syndrome. This is where it gets a little. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, based on talking about skin redness and nausea and falling down and dizziness, it sounds like me being drunk.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when you take the sum total of nausea, dizziness, concentration, heart palpitations, that's drunk.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was the first thing that kind of jumped out at me. Continuing from who? EHS resembles.
I don't know. You're telling the story.
EHS resembles multiple chemical sensitivities, MCS. Another disorder associated with low-level environmental exposures to chemicals. Both EHS and MCS are characterized by a range of non-specific symptoms that lack apparent toxicological or physiological basis or independent verification. So MCS predates EHS back when chemicals became big and people freaked out about chemicals and started having MCS, this syndrome, because we're being exposed to too many chemicals.
Everything is chemicals.
Electronics came around and these people just usurped the syndrome from MCS and made it into an electronic syndrome now. WHO has been studying.
Who has been studying?
Who has been studying EMFs since 1996? Mostly because of public pressure, because everyone was freaking out about power lines and radio signals and cell phones and all that shit. So they started studying, and they dug into literature left and right. They found more research has been done on EMF than on chemicals, most chemicals. They found over 25,000 articles published over 30 years. And there has been a vast consensus of no apparent health effects from non-ionizing radiation. Now, WHO, they do put in a stipulation that there are some gaps that require further research. And the EMF people are going to leap on those gaps and say, well, I fall into that gap right there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, they'll do the research on that gap. They'll find it's bullshit. And, and
then they'll move on. Yeah.
So continuing from WHO, it has been suggested that symptoms experienced by some EHS individuals might arise from environmental factors unrelated to EMF. Examples may include flicker from fluorescent lights and other visual problems from VDUs, poor ergonomic design of computer workstations, poor air quality, stress in the workplace or living environment. And here's the second thing that's kind of interesting about this. There are some indications that these symptoms may be due to pre-existing psychiatric conditions, as well as, and here's the fun part, stress reactions as a result of worrying about EMF health effects rather than EMF exposure itself. So EHS is being caused by your stress about getting EHS.
So it's a psychosomatic.
It's a psychosomatic issue. So yeah, I mean, your cell phone isn't causing cancer.
Unless you sit and worry about how much your cell phone may be causing cancer.
Well, honestly, I mean, even sitting and worrying about it, it's not going to give you cancer.
Yeah.
You're not going to you might get EHS and might start, blurry vision and all that. But no, it's just bullshit. And you just need to call it for what it is.
I actually worked on a set with a guy that he lost all of his money because he had developed a case that he was trying to sell to block out those harmful waves.
Oh, Jesus.
From entering into your head while you hold your phone up to your head.
Did he, create like a Faraday helmet?
No, it was literally it was a phone case.
Oh.
That literally had like it took block frequencies, but my only thought is, I'm like, if you developed a phone case that blocks these frequencies,
how
you're
does
not
a
going to get any
phone work?
calls. Like, and how the fuck? Yeah, that's what I'm like. How the fuck does that phone work? He was trying to sell hocus pocus bullshit.
Yeah.
I was going to say, how did he lose all of his money just putting tinfoil on a cardboard box that he can hide in?
Well, now he's a chiropractor.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. That makes sense. I mean, it was going to be either chiropractic or crystals or acupuncture or
Reiki
something
massage
like that.
therapist, yeah.
He probably does that.
Here's a fun little side note, just a trivia thing for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you know what Wi-Fi means?
Oh, something fidelity.
Wireless?
I don't know.
It means absolutely nothing.
Oh, really?
Oh.
It's a marketing term. A lot of people think it means wireless fidelity, which makes no sense whatsoever, because fidelity means quality. Mm-hmm. It's about quality.
Yeah,
so
hi-fi.
Wireless quality doesn't make sense.
Yeah, high fidelity is hi-fi.
Hi-fi. Yeah. No, Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi is a trademark term for IEEE 802.11.
Yeah.
Which, when WECA, the wireless Ethernet, came up with the wireless standard, they knew that wasn't a really great marketing thing to call it IEEE 802.11. So they hired a branding firm to come up with a name to call Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi was one of like 13 names they came up with. It means absolutely nothing.
I wonder what the other 12 were.
A lot of people, even professionals in the industry, thinks it means wireless fidelity, and it never did.
Wow.
It's just a brand name. Wi-Fi just means Wi-Fi.
There's one of my Facebook friends here locally, an ex-Mormon guy that I've run into at various secular activities, is on the IEEE board for coming up with new standards and stuff. Yeah, kind of cool. He's a fun guy to talk to. Maybe I should well, it's not really atheist related, but he's a cool guy to talk technology with.
Yeah. So that's one of them. You want me to?
Yeah.
Did you have another one?
I got healing crystals.
Healing crystals. Yeah.
Where are they?
This is R, isn't it? Can we go X?
Sure.
Oh, okay, we're going triple X.
God, if I had known we were
I give you an X and you go an extra X into.
If I'd known we were doing crystals, I would have called Jan. Maybe she could have brought.
Well, do we want to do this?
She would have lent me her crystals to bring in.
Do we want to do this one right now, or do we want to play an ad from our non-sponsors?
Play an ad from our non-sponsors?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, so let's do that.
Okay.
What ad are we going to play from our non-sponsors?
Oh, we don't have sponsors, but we play, we pitch other people's podcasts with them.
I got you.
I think Ryan has to take a leak.
No.
Do you need a little break?
No, I'm good.
We'll take a little break and then we'll be back.
Hi, this is Michelle Short.
And this is Stu DeHaan.
And we're the co-chapter heads of the Satanic Temple in Arizona.
You're listening to the Godless Rebelution.
For cool Satan swag, please visit the website shopsatan.com.
The problem is to have a way of thinking about the world that doesn't allow you to reliably navigate because you are not basing your worldview on evidence and argument. That's the problem.
Thank you to everybody who has rated the show on iTunes and Stitcher and are following us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And to all our Patreon patrons, you make the show possible.
Yeah, so is it the magical healing pet rock or a shiny piece of bullshit?
That's a great intro.
Magical healing rock or a shiny piece of bullshit?
Not just a magical healing rock. I put pet rock in there.
Oh, pet rock, yeah.
Yeah. Because those sold like fucking gangbusters.
Yeah. To which generation was that?
Not mine.
Wasn't mine.
No, I think it predates me too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 60s, wasn't it? Like 50s, 60s?
Well, those are the hippie-ish people that love these rocks.
The bomber, bummer, what are they?
Bummer?
Boobers? I don't know what they're called.
Now my mom's not going to like you either.
Sorry, Ryan's mom.
The Obama? Is that what you're trying to...
The Obummers?
The Obummers?
Well, the other thing I'm going to bring up that you should not fucking believe in is healing powers of crystal rocks.
Why? They do have magical powers. I have a fucking relative in my it's extended family. She's actually more closely related to Tracy, who believes in healing powers of crystals, and she's another one of those crunchy fucking people.
Yeah.
Who has she is in a position of being a well-off white person in the United States who has the luxury of thinking that crystals can heal and that GMOs are bad, and it's this entitled, privileged group of people who have the means to do and say stupid fucking shit.
And it is stupid fucking shit.
So, wait a minute, I'm trying to put this together. She's in your family, but more closely related to Tracy's family.
Well, Tracy is my family now.
Oh,
right?
Okay, okay, that's what.
Yeah.
Because I was like, so how are you related to Tracy? I'm trying to.
Yeah,
I'm trying to square that circle now.
We're not quite first cousins, but
I know Utah's
Is there something
small,
you haven't been telling us?
No.
But the claims made directly from the people that claim these things work say, crystal healing is an alternative medical technique in which crystals or other stones are used to cure ailments and protect against diseases. Proponents of this technique believe that crystals act as a conduit for healing, allowing positive healing energy to flow into the body as negative disease-causing energy flows out.
Does it say where? So it's a conduit, right? So it's flowing through. It's like it's like a pipe.
Yeah.
But where's the source? Yeah. Well, what is the source of this healing energy?
Like, even when I was looking at, like, I watched some videos with these crazy people, and they're telling you how to align the stones on your body and which points to put them over. And the lady was even saying, like, not even just on the body, but on the table, like putting these crystals on the four corners of the table. And then she had
your chakras.
Yeah, pretty well. That was to like, yeah. If the chakras were on the body. The ones outside were to like center the room.
The chi,
like not the chi, but like what's it? Like
center the
feng shui.
Feng shui.
Yeah.
It was for the feng shui of the room.
Yeah.
And then she had a giant crystal sitting there. She goes, "This crystal contains this powerful energy source, which helps energize the room."
It's
trapped in there, and she's just sucking it dry.
It honestly looked like Superman's.
That contains energy.
Yeah.
Then that's back to our previous. That's ionizing radiation. It's not good for you. That's like fucking uranium. I mean,
that's the shit that makes Geiger counters click and go off. You know.
But I mean, the way they're talking about, like saying that the rocks physically contain a energy source.
Uh-huh.
And that's why having the really big crystal in the room, it literally looked like a big crystal structure like you'd have for Superman and his place of solace, his
Fortress of Solace.
Fortress of Solace.
So in order to get closer to your crystal and have it really center your body, wouldn't it be great to just shove that right up your ass?
No, you can just wear it.
But
well, then you might be blocked from the signal.
Everything.
The signal might be blocked then.
I'm kind of visualizing this, and this may be wrong, but kind of like if you think about like magnetic waves, and if you put different magnets in different configurations, you adjust kind of the magnetic wave front for the whole thing, right?
I could agree with you in a way on that, but I'm gonna shut you down here in a second.
And I'm wondering why. That's fine. I'm just wondering if that's what they're kind of thinking with crystals. Are they like organizing psychic waves or mystical waves?
Well, the problem is they don't even have a consensus on which rock does what.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so where a magnet has a positive and a negative side to it, there's no debating that. They don't even agree with on.
There are some,
but they don't even agree with what certain rocks do. So if you go to some websites, you look at the same rock. Oh, this one helps, get rid of bad energy and keep the bad spirits away from you. But if you go to another site, no, this rock helps align your gut plankton. Or some other wooey bullshit. Probiotics, that's what I wanted to say. But I couldn't think of it right away, so I said plankton.
I'm picturing, these like shells. Like, what's that shit that grows on the outside of a boat?
Fucking
barnacles.
Yes.
Like barnacles all in your gut.
All I could think of was plankton, goddammit.
Just your gut just filled up with like barnacles encrusted on the inside of your stomach.
So one thing I did find in common, the rocks that get rid of evil spirits are black.
Of course.
And not always shiny. That was the only one I could find on the website that wasn't a shiny rock. Was this black, dull-looking rock that you're supposed to help get rid of the evil spirits. It keeps it, like, I don't know if it absorbs them, and that's why the rock turns black.
It sucks all the thetans right out.
Exactly. Well, it's supposed to protect them from getting into you, so you wear it around you.
It's
like a blocker.
Amulet.
It doesn't allow the bad spirits to flow into you.
What if you've already got them in you?
That's when you need the shiny rocks to get them back out.
Well, what if you're not sure, and so you do both? So you're
then it's like playing fucking ping pong.
Cancel each other out?
It's just going to bounce back and forth. Your heart's going to blow up.
Matter and antimatter coming together?
If you hold the shiny white one next to the dull black one, do they like bounce on each other?
That's called a poltergeist.
Oh.
But many of these sites promoting crystal healing allege that the history of this practice is ancient. So being ancient means good.
Right, that means it's clearly better knowledge.
If it worked then, it works now. It says it's been dating back at least 6,000 years back to the Sumerians of ancient Mesopotamia, and the Egyptians have also been referred to as using magical crystals. Yeah, so then it says, so just like flat Earth, and God freaks. If it's true then, it's true now.
Uh-huh.
So that's, I mean, they don't use, and there's no science in this. I can only find one study, which I'll get to next, that even tried to prove
that's
or
the same
deny
argument
this
the
whole
water
thing.
guy used.
Yeah.
Is that, raw water was good for us then. So, it must be good for us now.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
But I mean, that's the argument the flat earthers use. Well, the ancient maps look like this, so were they wrong? No. They had it right. We're wrong now. It's that same fucking bullshit.
That's how Christopher Columbus discovered Cuba.
Yeah, but he thought the earth was pear-shaped and a lot smaller than it actually is.
It's funny because a lot of the people who think that, like, they think there's some mystical power to ancient wisdom that we've just lost over the ages, right? That if only we could return to this ancient wisdom when they didn't have fucking water in their house, dude, that you could just shit in and then flush away.
Just have in your hand.
You keep coming back to your shitter, man.
It's just amazing to me. Like, I can go into a room in my house, sit down and poop, and then it just magically goes away, and I don't have to ever think about it.
Or smell it. Again.
So much of Dan's life revolves around the shitter.
There's, like, the only thing I have to worry about is the food ghost left behind. You know, like the
candle
solid
takes
aroma
care of that. That's
solid
aromatherapy,
Hey,
Dan.
Wait, I guarantee there's a crystal for that.
The solid material goes bye-bye, and I just have to deal with the food ghost.
Yeah. Well, they did do a double-blind safety test. No, not a safety test. A double-blind test on crystals and gems.
Oh, yeah?
Do they know what a double-blind test is?
Well, no.
And
This
who
wasn't. This was. I didn't write the university's name down. I was over in Europe because I couldn't pronounce his fucking name. So I'm like, I can't even pronounce his name. It's fucking weird.
They should pick an easier name, fucking stupid asses.
Yeah, the professor's name was France.
Oh.
Which made, when I first read it, I thought it was in France. I'm like, oh no, that's the professor's name is France. It's in this other fucking town in Europe with this fucked up college name. But it was the only one I could find because most people look
is
at
this
it.
a credible university?
I'm
or
thinking,
some shithole thing in Croatia or something.
No, I don't think it was a shithole. It seemed like an
nothing
actual-
against Croatia. I'm sure it's a lovely country.
This is an accredited university.
I mean, they didn't have a giant selection of people to choose from, so it wasn't a huge giant study.
Oh, people weren't beating down the doors.
They might have been, because they got 80 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says for the study, 80 participants were asked to meditate for 5 minutes while holding either a real quartz crystal or a fake crystal that they believed was real. Before meditating, half the patients were primed to notice an effect that the crystal might have on them, like tingling in the body or warmth in their hands while holding the crystal. After meditating, participants answered questions about whether they felt any effects of the crystal healing session. The researchers found that the effects reported by those who held fake crystals while meditating were no different than those of the effects they were holding real crystals while meditating. Then it says many participants in both groups reported feeling a warm sensation in their hand holding a crystal or a fake crystal, as well as an increased feeling of overall well-being. Those who had been primed to feel these effects reported stronger effects of those who had not been primed. However, the strength of these effects did not correlate with whether the person in question had held a real quartz rock or a fake one. Those who believed in the power of crystals, also measured by questionnaires, were twice as likely as non-believers to report feeling effects from the crystals.
The belief in the power of crystals compels you.
So at the end of the day, it's 100% placebo effect on crystals. But these sites were also selling ones for cancer. Like, these crystals will help cure your cancer. They'll help get rid of these diseases, which is fucking dangerous.
Motherfuckers.
Now, granted, they were cheap. The most expensive set of crystals, and these were just like the little ones. I didn't find the big giant ones online. Was like $36 for a pack of crystal healing starter kit. I am fucking serious.
A crystal healing starter kit.
It was.
We don't want to get you into the really serious crystal healing until you've got some experience and training under your belt.
It was literally just
young Padawan,
a bag with like 20 shiny rocks in it.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think that's the stupidest, most one of the wooey things out there. Can't be people actually believe, or they wear it. Like I've seen people doing it. Like, oh, I got this new gem. It really helps me like feel better during the day. I don't have any anxiety anymore, and I poop way better, and the toilet just gets rid of it.
It's like that image that's been going around on the internet for a few weeks now about somebody who put crystals all over their like.
Their steering wheel.
The steering wheel of their car.
Oh, yeah.
Making it into this like energy centric. Now their car is so peaceful. They turn their steering wheel into a fucking Claymore mine.
Yeah.
Because when that airbag goes off,
those are going through your head.
Uh-huh.
At a very high speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom is not as inclined to believe in wooey shit as she used to be, but she used to be very fucking wooey. And still is to some point. Like, she'll go through various cycles of shit, like whatever is popular at the time. Like, she, was into Buddhism and Wiccan stuff and pagan stuff for a little while. Then she got into fucking new agey shit when Shirley MacLaine, is that her name?
Yeah. She's into the woo.
Who would do the astral projection kind of shit.
MacLaine,
and so she got into that for a little while. Then she got into the power of crystals and their healing energies.
They come from Mother Earth.
Yeah. It's just like one wooey fucking feel good, airy fairy belief after the next. The latest one was, the secret kind of shit, like, oh, you shouldn't say that because the universe will hear you, and you need to have positive beliefs because whatever you put out into the universe is going to come back to you.
What's that book?
The Secret.
The Secret, yeah.
Yeah, so it's that kind of bullshit. It's just one fad wooey bullshit thing after another.
Well, I'm going to go outside and throw $100 in here and see what I get back.
You're going to get back a lot of disappointment.
And honestly, so I just said that she's not as inclined to do that as she used to be, but The Secret's pretty fucking recent. That's just within the last couple of years. And maybe it's just that she doesn't talk to...
The Secret is on last couple of years, or her with The Secret?
She stopped. Well, yeah, she stopped talking about The Secret and that whole, you'll put that into the universe and the universe and blah, blah, blah. So it's been a couple of years since she's mentioned that to me. So I say that she's not really as inclined to do that as she used to be, but maybe it's just that she's not as inclined to talk to me about it as she used to be.
Yeah.
Because
she's just given up on you.
Yeah, because lately it's just like, no, that's bullshit.
There's just no point.
Yeah, that's just bullshit, Mom. It's fucking nonsense. Like
she doesn't want to have the argument, and that's because that's negative energy.
She doesn't want to put that out into the universe and cause disturbances. Yeah, so maybe she does still believe in a bunch of other wooey shit that she just chooses not to discuss with me because
she just wants me to laugh at her.
Well, yeah, and I don't
hold back.
I don't abide stupid shit around me very much anymore. Like, it just, like, if somebody says something stupid around me, I'm like, no, that's bullshit, and here's why. I need to be much more Magnabosco-ish when approaching these things. Anthony Magnabosco, he does the street epistemology stuff.
Oh, okay. I've seen his videos.
Employing the Socratic method and getting people to basically leading people to question their own beliefs and stuff by gently asking them questions. That's something that I need to get better at because I just haven't been abiding stupid bullshit.
I totally agree that's a more effective way of doing it. I just don't have the fucking patience.
Yeah, and I don't. It's something I need to work on.
Yeah, it's a skill. It's hard as hell to do.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty good about it at work.
Yeah,
I have to live around these guys for 3-4 days at a time.
To a certain extent, you kind of need to empathize with them, and you need to kind of convince them that to some degree you even kind of believe or kind of empathize with what they're saying, and I just can't do that because what they're saying is just so stupid.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of his street epistemology podcasts and recordings that he does, and he's fucking amazing.
Well, he's got
at
the
it.
videos
he's
on YouTube.
Really, really good. I think the one thing that has really benefited him and that seems to help him is that he is genuinely concerned about a lot of other people. Like he's a very caring, genuinely warm person, where I like to say that I am, but really I'm growing more and more misanthropic all the time. But it's because he really does care about people, and he wants to know how they came to these different beliefs, that he's just so good at questioning how they came to these beliefs and how they know it's true and how much confidence they have in it. And it's just through asking questions about, well, how do you know that that's true? And can it be that this, is it possible that you could be wrong? And if, is there anything that could, that you would find out that could disprove your claim or that would make you change your mind on this? And
he asks the questions in a very non-intimidating fashion.
Right.
And these people just open up to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
I am really terrible about that.
And I haven't seen his videos, but I would argue, the people in his videos open up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, because missionaries do that to me all the time about what they believe, and they're very patient about it. Are you sure? And all that shit. There's nothing they can say that's going to change my mind.
Well, I've seen, he's got videos on YouTube where it's not just about religion, but, I believe I was abducted by aliens or
he'll approach people and say, hey, I was just wondering if you would be interested in having a 5-minute conversation. It's something I do as a hobby where I just get people to tell me something that they believe very strongly that, is part of, that they think is part of their identity, that they really identify with strongly, that they believe in very firmly, and that they think has a real big benefit or effect on their life. It could be something like, that they believe in an afterlife or ghosts, or they believe in a God, whatever they happen to personally believe that they think that they feel very strongly about and they think is important. And then they'll mention anything like, I do believe in life after death, and here's why. And then he'll just start asking them questions about why they believe that, and really get them to question why they believe it.
Yeah.
And the reason why I said you get them to open up is someone will tell like personal stories every once in a while on there. I'm like,
somehow, and maybe it's just the people I'm approaching, but when I do try to be patient, when I just ask those questions and things like that, they just get very defensive about their beliefs. I agree with his method. I think it's probably a more effective method, but a lot of people I've met who are very stuck in their belief systems just kind of collapse in on themselves. And when you start, and maybe I'm questioning them wrong, even when I'm patient, but when you start questioning their beliefs, they get super defensive and push back on pretty much anything you have to say. But maybe I'm doing it wrong.
And I just need to get better at, instead of making snide or sarcastic comments like
what, you snide?
Well, I have a dear friend who I love a whole lot, who's recently out of the LDS church and says things that are just so grossly disturbingly wrong that I feel really bad that they believe these things. And depending on the amount of alcohol I've consumed while speaking with them, I'll either ignore it or I make a shitty snide comment. Like, they were relating a story one time about how, I left work one day. I believe that there's something out there that's looking out for me because, there's things like, I left work one day and I was running a bit late and I just had this feeling that that around this next corner there was going to be a problem. And so I stopped and I waited for a minute and then I went, and just in front of me there was this accident. So there's something looking out for me that told me not to get in this accident. I'm like, yeah, fuck the other people that were in the accident, right? Like, fuck them. Whatever's protecting you doesn't give a shit about them, and apparently you don't either. So what the fuck does that matter?
Yeah.
So I need to get better. I need to be better about that.
Well,
stuff.
I'm guessing this guy you're talking about is probably not drunk when he does this. But he also sounds cool. I've seen a very similar thing over the last year with racism, with certain black people approaching KKK members and having productive. I've seen stories about them having productive conversations,
right,
with KKK members and even KKK members or alt-right people are getting out of that because of productive conversation. So I do think it's a valid approach.
Well, there's that famous guy. I can't remember if he was a pastor or how he got around to doing it, but he's an African American man who prides himself on the number of KKK robes that he has, of Grand Master Dragon's robes he's collected, because he's talked to them and he's gotten them out of that. So when they leave, they're like, "Hey, I no longer want to be a part of this," and he'll collect their old robes. He's like, "This base, like those are his war trophies. Like, I convinced this guy. I got him to think more rationally and be more accepting of others. And here's my proof."
Yeah.
He gave a black man his robe, his pride and joy.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's the best approach to anything like that. But it is a skill.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a skill you have to do. I mean, some people have innate talents with persuasion, but
yeah. And I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I'm growing more misanthropic as I get older. And if it's somebody that I care about who is saying stupid shit, then I generally just avoid it these days. But I need to get better at, just having an honest conversation with them about it. Like, "Oh, well, why do you believe that? What makes you think that?" Or, "Really, I haven't heard that. Well, can you tell me more about it and why you think that's true?" I need to get better at that instead of just, "Jesus Christ, that's fucking stupid. I can't believe that you think that." Because then they get really defensive and feel like they're being attacked because they kind of are.
They kind of are.
And I need to get much better at not attacking people that way.
Yeah.
It's fun to come down here and do it on the show and be able to vent those frustrations and everything. But you would think then that since I have this outlet, it would be that much easier for me to not do that in public. But it's not. I need to work on that for sure.
So one of the news podcasts I listen to is called Reveal. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to that one or not. One of the guys on it was at Charlottesville to cover it. And he came upon a guy getting the shit kicked out of him. And he jumped in there and jumped on the guy and got him out of the situation. He didn't know the guy was a neo-Nazi skinhead he just saved. And that the guys that were surrounding him, because he was a black guy that just saved a neo-Nazi, while their black guys were kicking his head in. And later on, the guy came and said, "You gave me a different perspective." He goes, "Yeah, I came there, I was antagonizing, I was trying to get into a fight. That was my goal, was to make you guys
Mission
look
accomplished,
bad."
dead man.
No, well, he's not dead.
Well, I know, but he would have been otherwise.
But
probably.
at the same time, if the reporter guy wanted to stepped in and grabbed him and pulled him out, he probably would have still had the same idea. Like, yeah, let's go out there and get them to cause more shit. But now that a black man that he was there to go rally against just saved his fucking life, he's like, wow, that has a whole different perspective. Like, you jumped on top of me as people were hitting me and kicking me to save my life, and you didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Well, did you guys see that thing from Sarah Silverman recently? It was in the news, I think, starting yesterday.
I didn't.
No.
Some guy tweeted something.
I've been kind of devoted to other stories lately.
Well, some guy tweeted something awful to her. It was I can't remember exactly what he tweeted. It was something like, "Fuck you," or "You're stupid." It wasn't just "you're stupid." There was definitely a really bad word or
like some anti-Semitic bullshit in there.
It was something really crass and rude, like out of the blue. And instead of blocking him or telling him to go fuck himself or whatever, she went out and looked at his Twitter timeline and feed and saw, that he'd been having back problems and chronic pain and whatever. And she just said, "Hey, look, I know that you're going through a hard time. You've got these back issues. I've been there myself. I had back pain. I'm really sorry. I know it can cause you to lash out and, but I know it's within you to be a better person," and blah, blah. And they had this exchange back and forth, and she got him help. He's been out of work because he's been in so much pain, and, got somebody to volunteer to see him to help him with his back pain issues and everything. And by the end, it was just like, Sarah Silverman's kind of a really good person. And I feel like dog shit now because I don't. There have been occasions where I've done that with people where they'll comment something really shitty on my timeline, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, are you all right? Like, this seems out of character for you to be a giant asshole right now." And other times, I'm just like, "Oh, you're a giant asshole. You should go fuck yourself." And
so, if you're nice to people online, should we worry?
So I'm looking forward to sometime in the future where somebody posts something about GMOs on like Utah Atheists, and Dan responds with, I understand what you're saying. Can you
elaborate?
Can you tell me more about why you feel that way?
I have been working on that, actually. Yes. Yeah. It's something I'm hoping to improve
that will
this
be
year.
Interesting to see.
As part of my personal development, Grant, I've made a resolution to be a better person this year.
Fuck New Year's resolutions.
This is New Name Noah, and you're listening to the Godless Rebelution.
I'll try my 10 seconds of humility. It's the only time tonight. There's a lot we don't know about the universe, a lot more we don't know than we do. That's the wonder of science. That's why I'm a scientist. But it is intellectually lazy to just stop asking questions and stop looking for physical explanations and just say God did it.
If you have questions, comments, concerns, compliments, corrections, criticisms, or concepts for content, contact the show via email at godlessrebelution@gmail.com, by text or voicemail at 330-81-REBEL, or Twitter the twatter at TGR Podcast. Thank you!
You brought something else for us, Mr. Larimer.
So the other main story I brought on the technology front. Recently, I heard about a friend whose young daughter decided to try to recharge her cell phone in the microwave.
I wonder who that was.
I'm straining to remember. So I thought I'd look into that a little bit more and see what
sweet soul who did that.
So sorry.
That's some bad parenting right there. I mean,
hey,
I think they would have charged a more rational and logical child.
I'll bet the person who relayed this information to Grant has not been in this other person's life for the majority of their life. It was recent-ish thing. Okay, so my stepdaughter who is one of the sweetest, kindest, most caring people I know, was only seeking to help her cousin whose iPhone had died, was out of juice, and she didn't have her charger with her, and my dear sweet stepdaughter had seen something recently out on the Facebook that said that you could put your iPhone in the microwave for a short amount of time and it would give it a quick supercharge. And so they did that and murdered a phone in the microwave. And she learned really quickly how terrible an idea that was when she then had to buy her cousin, my niece, a new iPhone. Because she had her fry hers in the microwave.
So, intrigued by that story, I thought I'd look into the history of it and kind of delve into it. It's somewhat interesting. So that started on 4chan, which is somewhat famous.
All good things start there.
We'll get into that in a minute. That was a prank called iOS Wave, which was a new function on the iPhone 8, a new feature. And they did a meme of a very professional looking meme about iOS Wave and the new feature and what you could do. And it instructs users to charge their phones for 60 seconds at 700 watts or 70 seconds at 800 watts, while warning, do not wave charge, because that's like a thing now, for over 300 seconds, because that could damage your phone.
Did she check the wattage on the microwave before she did it?
I don't know. I doubt it.
That meme started on 4chan and then spread to Facebook and other things. That spread to YouTube, where people started putting together videos. Now, I'm not talking about videos of people like trying it for real, but like
editing fake videos
fake
of it working.
Videos of people like pulling an iPhone out of a microwave, and it's like all hot, and they're like touching it, and then they look at it, and it's like at 99%. Because
it really worked.
Editing.
Oh, wow.
So apparently so many people bought into this. A lot of people. I mean, they were doing Apple support had to go fucking nuts. I mean, they were putting out tweets and press releases. The LAPD had to put out press releases warning people because people were starting fires in their house.
Yeah, but why would Apple put out a press release like, fuck yeah, throw out your phones, buy another one, more money, yay!
That I know.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, like, what does this say about the average, or what does this say about the intelligence level of the average iPhone user?
from a bunch of Android owners.
Yeah.
I don't do.
I'm sure iPhones are just great.
I had an
For
iPhone.
some people, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Then I saw the light.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Apple, and maybe Apple was concerned about, their liability. I don't know why they'd be liable, but
well, they don't want people ruining their product and then complaining to the Apple. And I mean, I'm sure they were flooded with calls from people like, I've read this and heard this.
I used your new app.
This new iWave feature, and my phone is now on fire.
Yeah.
Well, wave at it now.
My phone's now on fire and looks like a Samsung. Yes, there are problems on the Android side of the house as well.
There are. So 4chan is actually famous for quite a few pranks along this line. 4chan is they invented the Rickroll.
Oh, did they?
They were the originators of the original.
That's where it started?
That's where it started.
I always figured that just started on YouTube.
No, it started on 4chan and then moved to YouTube and other places.
Oh.
There's a specific thing, I didn't write it down, but a specific thing. Mountain Dew had a naming contest for a new drink called Dub the Dew. And 4chan users, I don't know why the fuck anyone does naming contests online anymore.
Because of Bodie McBoderson?
Yeah, it's going to be Dewey McDewface.
So Mountain Dew did a naming contest and 4chan users hijacked that. And pretty soon, the top three names in the list were Diabetes, Diabetes Dew, Gushing Granny, and the number one, Hitler did nothing wrong.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Taylor Swift did a competition. She wanted to perform at a school. And so she did a school competition, vote for your school.
Yeah.
Whoever gets most votes, I'll come to your school.
Yeah.
Well, 4chan found out about that, hijacked that. And the number one school was the Horace Mann School for the Deaf.
Oh! Did she do the concert?
No, she didn't. But she ended up donating money to the school. But no, she didn't do the concert.
Oh, I love 4chan.
One of the more disturbing things they did was the campaign #Cutting for Bieber.
Ooh, no, that sounds bad.
So when Bieber came out with the whole drug thing, the picture of him smoking a doobie.
Yeah.
Apparently a bunch of his fans.
Was he smoking Satan salad?
He was smoking Satan salad. Well, 4chan users really hate Bieber.
Oh.
And so they went out in droves and created thousands of Twitter accounts and put on fake pictures. They mocked up pictures of them cutting themselves until Justin stopped doing drugs.
Oh, Jesus.
With the #Cutting for Bieber.
Oh, my God.
Bieber's fans picked up on this and started doing it too.
Oh, my God.
So, again, talking about things not to believe. Don't believe 4chan.
No, don't believe it, but they do some funny shit.
I mean, they do some funny shit, but I mean, just in general of what not to believe, don't believe the fucking internet.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about things not to believe, I mean, fucking clickbait on Facebook. You've all seen the stories. This woman opened the door and there's a bear outside. You won't believe what happens next.
Yeah.
And then you go through like 20 pages and what happens next is she shut the door. I mean, it's...
Dude, I make it a point to not click on clickbait headlines because I'm not going to feed that beast.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you're even tempted, look in the comments section of that thing.
Oh, yeah.
because somebody else did, and they posted what the thing was.
Yeah.
Well, one of those
right in the comments. So
I noticed last week one of those things said, "You won't believe these celebrities have died," and they posted a photo of a celebrity that was still alive as the cover photo for it. I'm like, that guy's alive. He ain't dead. It was the dude from.
That's why you won't believe it, and you shouldn't.
Yeah, it was the guy from American Choppers with like the Tuttle from that TV show.
No idea.
I liked it when it was on the air. I like motorcycles.
Yeah.
But they said he's dead, and I'm like, that guy's not dead.
Photoshopped images, the helicopter shark picture.
Yeah, that's
the
fake.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
I mean, there was another
where that was supposed to be a Coast Guard helicopter rescuing somebody, and a shark jumps up.
A shark jumps up. Yeah. There was another Bieber one. #bald for Bieber. Somebody photoshopped a picture.
Was this BALD or BALLED?
No, BALD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
They photoshopped a picture from an appearance he did on a talk show, and they shaved his head. And they said in the picture that he had just announced his cancer treatments.
Oh.
So his fans went out
in
and
solidarity and support,
shaved their heads in support of Bieber's "Don't believe shit on the internet."
all those young girls going Britney Spears.
Fake fundraisers. There was a fundraiser called Save Toby, where somebody created a website. Toby, who they put out all these pictures of this cute little bunny.
Save Kunta Kinte.
Adorable little bunny. And they promised that they were going to eat Toby unless you donated $50,000, at least $50,000, unless they receive $50,000 by a set date.
Yeah.
Well, I can't help it. People are stupid and actually give money to this stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't help that people believe in religion, but you can try and help them get out of it. I mean, come on.
What we need to do is make sure that our schools start teaching critical thinking.
Yeah. So
I've seen funny ones where it's like, get Keith a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So
people donate so you can buy this stuff to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
PayPal had shut down the donation, but not before they had gotten $20,000 in donations. GoDaddy wouldn't shut down the site because it's not illegal to eat a rabbit. PETA got involved and went fucking psycho. And it turns out the whole thing was a scam to begin with. There never was a Toby. These were
they ate him.
These were like two guys in New Jersey who didn't even have a bunny.
I just found a picture somewhere out on Facebook or out on Google. Nice.
Professional YouTubers. This one drives me nuts.
Yeah.
People who put out these videos. Oh, look how cute. And the video goes around sharing about how this cute little kid spread flour all over the living room or some shit like that. But the parents of the kid are professional YouTubers. They make money off of. And how the fuck does a 2-foot-high kid get flour on a 9-foot-high ceiling?
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking happen. They set the goddamn thing up as more clickbait because they make money off of fucking YouTube.
I watched.
Don't believe shit on the internet.
I watched a couple
believable
videos.
places, but
yeah, I watched a couple videos a couple weeks ago from this family that's supposed to be like the most dramatic family in the world because they're all so fucked up, and
it's reality TV.
It is, absolutely. I mean, you could tell it was completely staged. It was ridiculous, and there are a ton of comments on there like, I can't believe this is really happening. You guys are crazy, LOL. Yeah. Like, you're not a good thinker.
Yeah.
You were not taught how to rationally, critically think about shit, and I think that's something that we need to concentrate on in our schooling that seems to be lacking or missing. I don't know how I developed mine to where it is. I do remember a few teachers explaining that we needed to be rational and very critical in our thinking and telling us how to do that. And maybe that's just something that they don't do anymore or as well.
I watched PBS.
Yeah.
And that's a good point. I mean, I kind of throw out as a blanket statement, don't trust what's on the internet. There are things to trust on the internet. There are reliable sources. But
it's determining how and if something is reliable. People aren't taught those skills.
No.
And that's something
things like PBS. I mean, PBS is a reliable source. There are certain reliable
for now,
sources.
like this, not Discovery.
Well, but that's
the magazine that just got bought up by the National Geographic just got bought by the fucking flat Earth guys.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, well, like, you shouldn't just go by what, Mustache Rider 1563 says on Twitter as a reliable source of some really great information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this goes all the way back to, the Pro-Truth Pledge and the 2016 election. I mean, check your fucking sources.
Mm-hmm.
There is truth on the internet, but
I
be
need
skeptical.
Well, something else that I need to work on, and I guess I'll have to start with the next episode because I didn't do it in this one, is to thank people throughout the show and to mention ways that you can contact us or remind you that you can contact us. I think we've got the drops that I sprinkle in with our thank you information and our contact information and everything. And I think people have just grown so accustomed to hearing it that they just kind of tune it out because we don't get contacted nearly as often as we do when I mention it throughout the show or just at different points in the show. I've kind of been just keeping track of it in my head that, on the shows where I've mentioned, hey, you should call us at 330-81-REBEL and leave us a voicemail message. We tend to get messages. Or I say, hey, you should send us an email. We tend to get email messages. If I just leave it to the drop in between segments, usually nothing. But it sure makes editing a lot easier and doesn't suck as much time out of the main portion of the show. So you should contact us by email at godlessrebelution@gmail.com, or you can call us and leave us a voicemail or send us a text message at 330-81-REBEL. You can go out and like our page on Facebook. We've started a Facebook community just called the Godless Rebelution Community out on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at TGR Podcast. What else have we got there? You can find us on YouTube. And
we got shirts on that one site.
All over the place. I still need to finish setting that all up.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't say that.
There are some things set out there.
Don't you have a list at the top?
Yeah, but I wanted to... I told a listener that I was going to do that like 3 weeks or 20 weeks ago. I don't know. Time kind of blends and blurs, but I need to do that. And I think I may have some time this weekend that I can get all of that updated and fixed. There are some outstanding issues with some other things that I need to take care of for the show. But yeah, please reach out to us. Let us know what you'd like to hear, what you like or don't like about the show. If we've said something wrong, I certainly would like to be corrected because I want to know if I'm wrong so that I can fix it so that I don't continue being wrong.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I'm totally open to being challenged and corrected, and I'll re-research anything I say. And
yeah. So please reach out if you've got a question for us. Let us know. I think coming up here in the next few months, we may do a kind of a AMA for the show.
Yeah,
people can just send us in questions. We'll answer whatever they want. That should be fun. But that wraps it up for the regular portion of the show. We're going to move into the Patreon portion of the show now. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, if you like the show, if you value the work that we're doing, if we add a little bit of joy into your otherwise dreary life, or if you lead a perfectly happy life and we just add a little bit more happiness and you would like to support the show through financial donations, you may do so at Patreon by going to patreon.com/GodlessRebelution. You can contribute for as little as $1 per episode. You can even game the system and contribute $1 per episode and limit it to one time per month. So you only give us $1 per month. There's a whole lot of ways that you can do that. I also want to look into setting up a PayPal for us because I know the Patreon is not available in all locations across the globe, and we've got listeners in a bunch of other countries. So there's a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be doing in the next few months and in the coming year to help make everybody's experience of the show better. And in order to do that, the more we hear from the people who are experiencing the show, then the more that we can do what you would like us to do. So reach out and let us know what you like and don't like. But thanks, everybody. Until next week, crucify those crystals.
Leave a review to achieve nirvana.
And rate the show 5 times to industrialized clean water. I bet he ties that thing back in a man bun, though. he is a man bun kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Consenting adults are allowed to be students.
That's one of the scientists that was interviewed for this article.